Hello guys, and welcome back to another weekly watches. This week, I know last week was very short. Honest to God, the minute I start talking, one of the dogs comes. Last week was really short. This week I've actually watched quite a few movies. Hello Dobby. So let's get cracked straight on with what I watched last week. Okay, so first on the list is a goodie, is Thanksgiving. I really enjoyed this. I have done a review for it on the channel, so I'm not going to go into any detail talking about it. I just found it really funny, refreshingly easy to watch. It just entertained me. I struggle, as I've said before, with horror and comedy as a mix, but I'm a bore on you. I do apologise. But this one I really enjoyed. So yeah, Thanksgiving gets a 4 out of 5 from me. I know it's a bit like Marmite at the minute, it's either a love-hate one, but I loved it. The next evening, I'm not going to talk about this because this is one I watched for Geek Legion of Doom. So the review should be going up on his channel for that one. This is one set around the Troubles in Northern Ireland, but rather than set in Northern Ireland like they usually are, this one is set in Dublin. It's based on the accounts of actual real people, so it's based on a true story. Really enjoyed it, that's all I'll say. If you want to check out the review, it should be on Geek Legion of Doom's channel sometime soon. Honestly, this dog, she's between yawning and talking. Same evening, Hatton Garden, The Inside Story. This is a documentary about a group of old codgers broke into Hatton Garden like safety deposit boxes, and you may be going to say, well, that's not for... Now I have two dogs on me. Hello Molly. But I thought they were like just your average old codger, but these were lifetime criminals, and they managed to break in to Hatton Garden. They got caught, but this is the story behind how they did it. And it's... Do you think you could maybe sit somewhere else for 5 minutes? Honestly, no, they couldn't. So I've forgotten you've only got me small. You've got that on a big screen, so you're not getting the benefit of how cute Molly is. Right, down there. So yeah, Hatton Garden, 3.5 out of 5. If you're interested in that kind of thing, I would recommend. Endless. Okay, I haven't finished this. I don't even know why I started it, to be honest. You see, I thought I'd seen this before because I've seen one that's very similar. So this couple, very much in love, very happy. He goes out and gets killed. Not a spoiler, that's what the movie's about. And she like starts to hear him after he's passed. He somehow has found a way to communicate with her. That's as far as I've got, as like, can you stop licking, please? Can you just leave? You were over there happily until I started talking, then you come over here. So if you like romances, you might like it. It's certainly not Ghost, Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore. I wonder if I'd watched that when I was like, I don't know, in my 30s. Would I not like Ghost? But I saw Ghost like most people when I was really young and fell in love with Patrick Swayze. I love that movie, it's so good. But this is certainly no Ghost. Haven't scored it because I haven't watched it all. I may go back to it. I think if you like romances, it's stereotypical one of those. On the 23rd, now I've been wanting to see this since I saw it advertised. Aaron from Screen Stars reviewed this and he absolutely loved it, and I'm like, oh, I really need to see this. So this is The Greatestscaper with Michael Caine and Glenda Jackson. This is a true story that was all over the media when it happened. Of this ex is a veteran and he wanted to go to France to take part in the, is it D-Day? Yeah, D-Day London's commemoration. It was an anniversary. 70th anniversary. He's a World War II veteran. He's in a retirement home with his wife. They live together. The timescale has passed for him being able to sign up to go as a group. He doesn't want to miss it because he thinks he might possibly not be able to. This is a big one, it's the 70th anniversary. So he leaves his retirement home really early in the morning and he takes himself to France. True story, all over the news here, fantastic. Really nice film, really beautiful, very poignant performances from both Michael Caine and Glenda Jackson. It really is a love story about, we get flashbacks to when they were a young couple and how they met, and they're just still so much in love now, all these years later. Really good story. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. I don't think I liked it quite as much as Aaron. I did really enjoy it though, I have to say. I would thoroughly recommend Greatestscaper. The Miracle Club. Oh, if you've seen it and you think it's good, let me know if I should give it another chance. Florentina's seen it, 3 out of 5. Now, I wanted to see this because Kathy Bates is in it, and Kathy Bates is one of my favourite actresses. This is about 3 ladies from Dublin, very sort of like average, normal, typical ladies. So these women basically want to go to Lourdes. They think they're going to get a miracle, they're going to get cured. If you don't know what Lourdes is, it's a place a lot of people go on pilgrimages to in France that are ill, something wrong with them. They get in like baths that are thought to be like holy or blessed, and they think they're going to be cured or there's going to be a miracle or something like this. So this is about that. It's about these people that go. Now, I thought it would be a really nice, your typical sort of like British comedy, quintessential. Molly, please stop woofing. But I find it monumentally boring. I maybe need to watch it again. I was quite distracted because, oh dear God, because my son went go-karting on Saturday and he had a crash and he's done the ligaments of his knee in, and he was at A&E as I was watching this with his dad, and they were there for 6 hours. It was shocking. Saturday, of course he had to do it on a Saturday, and they were there Saturday night. Got home at 2:30 in the morning. He's done his ligaments in, so he's hobbling about in crutches at the minute. So I was a bit distracted, so I maybe need to watch that again. I'm not too sure. Let me know if you've seen it and you think it's worth my time. Where are we? Strange Circus. Oh God, this... I don't even know where to start. This is Japanese. Reality is the mystery. The erotic novelist Taiko is writing a morbid story of a family destroyed by incest, murder and abuse. Her assistant Yuji sets on a mission to uncover the reality of the story, but the reality might be too much to bear. Okay, I have to be very careful with this one. So this was recommended to me by Jen's Reviews from the Grave. I believe she said her son Christian really enjoyed this. She did warn me it was a lot, it was rough, it was difficult to watch. She wasn't wrong. I'm still, again, I watched this when the next few movies I watched when my son was in A&E. This was one I didn't really want to watch in front of anyone, and having watched it, I'm really glad I didn't. This movie is best gone into blind because you don't want to know too much about it, but it is very difficult. There are themes of incest, child abuse in this that is really, really difficult. There are movies, a lot of Japanese movies do push the boundaries of what a lot of people are comfortable with. I could see a lot of people watching this and being really repelled, disgusted, and you are meant to feel that way at the beginning of this movie. This movie is very strange. It is presented in segments in quite an unusual way, which I don't really want to go too much into. It's quite artistically done, but like I say, especially the first third of this movie is very disturbing. It's quite difficult to watch. It's fantastically acted, it's fantastically shot, it's very clever. I absolutely loved where we went in the end with this. I gave it a 3 out of 5 because it's something I wouldn't watch again. I just found the first section of the movie a bit too disturbing for my... Everybody's got a line. Obviously, I don't think certain movies shouldn't be made, or this is disgusting, or blah, blah, blah. It's just everyone's got a line, and for me, this was a bit too uncomfortable. There's just, for me, when you get into child abuse, I get all kinds of uncomfortable. I don't want to see it represented. And this film pulls no punches with that. It's not something that's briefly sort of touched on. It's something that's a main integral part of the first third of this movie. So I'm talking quite a bit about this because I don't want anyone to go into this and think, oh my God, what has she recommended to us to watch? Jen did warn me also that it was a lot. But if you can bear that kind of thing, when there's like an end goal, I would recommend it because it is a very well made film. It's very clever, it's very artistic. Performances are fantastic, and yeah, it's very satisfying overall when you finish it. So Strange Circus is an odd movie, guys, I'll warn you, but I know there's those amongst you who like to push the boundaries, who want to see something new, that want to like be recommended movies that they haven't seen before. I hadn't seen or heard of this one. It is a 2005 movie, so yeah, take of that what you will. 3 out of 5. Uritus. So this is a movie that I heard Leo from Geek Legion of Doom review, and I like the sound. It's like a possession movie. Now, don't let that put you off. A lot of possession movies are terrible. Obviously, The Exorcist is right up there, probably the best of them. The Autopsy of Jane Doe is another favourite of mine. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. This one was really good. It's very slow. It's very dialogue based. It's very character driven. So, pray it does not learn your name. A police detective, Clayton Douglas, is summoned to a remote hospital to witness a mysterious Civil War veteran's outrageous deathbed confession that forces him to accept the supernatural. I really dug this. I really enjoyed it. The performances were excellent. If you want to watch something and you're going to get distracted, don't watch this. You do really need to listen to the dialogue. You need to follow along. I thought it was really, really good. One of the better movies of this ilk. Leo had said he really enjoyed it, so yeah, completely thumbs up for me. I'll not say any more about it. This is probably Tom Sizemore's last movie, as he died shortly after the filming of this one. So yeah, Uritus, recommend if you like that kind of thing, guys. I thought it was very good, but it's not bells and whistles. It's very dialogue, character driven. Okay, what else have we got? There we go, that's the end. Leo. So this was yesterday. My son was back, obviously the night, but 2:30 in the bloody morning. So we were watching movies while he was convalescing on the sofa. He's damaged ligaments, but they don't know how badly. He has to go to an injury clinic on Thursday to find out. So Leo, this is Adam Sandler's new movie, animation on Netflix at the moment. So the right teacher can change everything. Jaded 74-year-old lizard Leo has been stuck in the same Florida classroom for decades with his terrarium mate Turtle. When he learns he only has 1 year left to live, he plans to escape to experience life on the outside, but instead gets caught up in the problems of his anxious students, including an impossibly mean substitute teacher. I loved this. This was so sweet. It was so funny. It was cheeky in all the right places. The characters, amazingly, they managed to make every single kid in this classroom that we deal with. We don't just deal with one child and this child's relationship with a lizard. We deal with a whole host of children, and we actually learn to care about every single one of them, even though we don't spend a massive amount of time with each of them. The characters that are written are just fabulous. They cover all kinds of different children that you would meet in a school. The Leo is voiced by Adam Sandler. You can tell that immediately. I just thought this was a beautiful little movie. Bill Burr is also voiced. Does Bill Burr voice the turtle? He's bound to. He must. Squirtle Turtle. Thoroughly recommend this if you like animations. I loved it. I give it a 4 out of 5. Okay, A Haunting in Venice. Very distracted I was yesterday. I'm freezing. Our boiler broke. It'll be 2 weeks ago on Wednesday, and we still don't have it fixed, so we still have no heat. I'm fucking freezing. So I was a bit distracted and grumpy when I was watching this with my blanket. This bored me. I could tell it was beautifully shot. It looked wonderful. The acting performances all looked great. Maybe if on a different day I might feel differently, but this didn't grab me. This didn't reel me in. I gave it a 2.5. I don't think there was anything necessarily wrong with it other than it didn't appeal to me personally. It just didn't grab me. And I found myself get really distracted multiple times. I wonder what other people thought of this one. Seems quite with a 2.5, a 3, several 3.5s. Yeah, there's quite a few 2s and 2.5 there too. Oh, there's Pete, Playtendo Guy. Really enjoyed that, a 4. So yeah, it was beautiful to look at, but it just didn't capture my imagination at all. So the same night in bed, this was absolutely terrible. You should watch this just to laugh at how bad it is. Documentary Ghosts in the Afterlife that's popped up on Prime, I believe. I don't know what was worse, the girl that presented it, as beautifully stunning as she is, she just is not a TV presenter. So I am obsessed with the topic of the afterlife and ghosts and what happens and what is there. Aside from a few clips which were shown in this, which were interesting, which I'd seen all of them before because I watch anything I can get my hands on to do with this subject, the presenting style was flipping awful. There was a little bit where they spoke to actually scientists and like medical doctors and stuff about their opinion, and they had to admit there was something that they couldn't quite quantify, they couldn't quite explain about things that had happened to them and things they had saw, things they'd witnessed. That was interesting, but Jesus Christ, it has to have been made in like the 90s or something. I know it says 2022 on there, but no, it was just horribly made. 1 out of 5. Yeah, nothing else I can really say about that. And finally, oh yes, it's very early. My Christmas decorations are up. I've got another Christmas jumper on. Today it's Bohemian Rhapsody. Muppet's Christmas Carol, my favourite Christmas movie of all time. Absolutely adore it. Isaac wanted to watch it. They are actually studying Dickens's Christmas Carol in school, so I thought, right, well, this is actually a really good, believe it or not, representation of the novel. They actually use the real dialogue and the real narration in this. Obviously not all of it, but they do have beautiful little slices of Dickens in here, and I thought, he's seen it before, obviously, and he wanted to watch it again. I thought it'll be good to get it in his head when he's learning it at school at the moment. So we watched it again, and I cried again, as I always do. I sung along with all the songs, as I always do. I laugh at the mice. No cheeses for us mices. I always laugh at that bit. I love it. Just brilliant. I just can't get over the fact that this is a Muppets movie, and it's so wonderfully shot and lit and acted. I mean, Michael Caine in this is sublime. When you look at just the settings and the lighting, this is just wonderful. And it's a Muppets movie, guys. It's Muppets. But it's just beautiful. It's a perfect movie to me. I've given it a 5 out of 5. I will never feel differently about that movie. It ticks every box for me. I love it. Yeah, so that, guys, let's just press done on there. That, guys, is what I've watched this week. Thank you so much for watching. I shall be back hopefully next week if I get time to do another what I watched. I think I've said before, next year I want to start getting to doing an extra video per week, hopefully on true stories that have inspired TV programs or movies. That's sort of the avenue I want to go down. And I will try also, obviously, and keep my weekly watches in there as well if you're still interested in watching them, obviously. So thank you for joining me again this week, guys. I shall speak to you all next week. Over and out from Lisa Lives.